I had a bunch of people reach out to me on my Instagram story last week on how I clean my leather. So I figured I'd make a quick little video, just my process and the products that I use. It's a super simple process. So I did this golden brown interior last weekend and it came out really, really good. So let's go get the E92 and I'll show you guys that on the Fox Red interior. This is what we're working with. So it's the Fox Red and black bicolor seats in the E92 M3. But so I haven't cleaned the leather in this in a little while. You can see it's pretty shiny. You know, probably 6 to 7 months would be my guess. Maybe last spring. I honestly don't know. So yeah, let's show you guys what products I use. Here is the products that we will be using today. Coach Chemi Polestar. This is the leather cleaner. So I mix this 1 to 5 with water in this foam bottle, and I take my Easy Scrub and I scrub it all in. I take a clean microfiber, wipe it all down. And same thing, so Leather Star here, I put this on the applicator pad. You kind of use a lot, you kind of wipe it in, you let it dry, and then you take another different clean microfiber and then you buff it kind of off. So I use gloves for this, but yeah, it's a super simple process. This is like $22, this is like $23, and then this sprayer is like $9 or something. And then, so realistically, like you're in this for like 60 bucks. And I cleaned 2 cars already, and this is like down to maybe here. So when you dilute it 1 to 5, I cleaned 2 cars already, and this is where it's at. So you don't even use a lot. So it's really lasts you a long time. Easy as that. You spray a little bit, it foams up a little bit, and then I just take my scrub pad here and I just start going to town. And then once the product's scrubbed in a little bit, I didn't use too much pressure, but then you just take a microfiber and you get it off. And immediately there's a pretty big difference. You can really kind of see that side I just cleaned over there, have not cleaned over here yet. And you can really see the matte versus the kind of dirty, shiny leather. You can really see the difference here. Done. Yeah, you can really tell a difference. I mean, it leaves a very nice kind of matte shine here. But yeah. Ignore my stuff in the door there, but the lighting's really good here to kind of show you guys the finish that it leaves. My quality control inspector is really giving me a hard time over there. And I also wanted to quickly show like how much product I used, because you guys saw how much was in here at the beginning. There's still a little bit left, and I used a generous amount of product on the interior. So, you know, the sponge is probably done after this one. You know, I've washed it and then it got kind of black again. So, you know, you can see it's lifting some good dirt and oils and just grossness from, you know, a daily driver. One of the quick things that was recommended in a lot of the YouTube videos is just taking a damp rag and kind of wiping down the interior after you've kind of gone through. Don't mind that, I just touched that with the damp rag here. But, you know, just going through and wiping it down just to eliminate any of the kind of cleaners that were in that kind of Polestar. So now it's all super shiny again because it's damp, but it'll air dry super quick. By the time you kind of make your way through, you know, your driver's seat will be back, you know, nice and dry. So I essentially just kind of follow the directions for use on the side of this bottle, which is where that kind of wipe down with a damp cloth came from. So I cleaned with Polestar, you know, we scrubbed it in, we wiped with the damp cloth and dry thoroughly. You know, I shook up the Leather Star, and then we'll kind of apply it to this microfiber applicator that I have. I have a bunch of these because I bought a bunch for ceramic coatings. So they were on sale one time from, I think these are Armor Detail Supply based on the color combo. But yeah, I'll show you guys applying these. Have the Leather Star on the applicator pad, and we will just start kind of working it in here. Yeah. So that's worked into my seat here. It's super glossy when it goes on, so I kind of layer it on pretty thick here, you know, and then you kind of let it dry, and then you buff it off a couple minutes later. Apologies for the pretty bad lighting back here. But you know, when I apply this, I kind of think of it as like a ceramic coating. So I kind of do that. And then I kind of just come back and forth with it here. Quickly note, the stuff does have a little bit of a smell. It's like a cleaner smell. It tends to go away pretty quick. I'm lucky that I have this, you know, Captain Crankshaft Luft scent in here. So I don't really have to deal with the smell too much, but you know, it's just something to note if you're kind of sensitive to that kind of stuff. And now it's time to buff this off, kind of some of the excess here. You can see, you know, there's a little bit of excess. So once I buff that off, I'll kind of show the results. There's probably a really good spot and some decent lighting to kind of show you buffing it off. But yeah, you know, you just kind of buff it off a little bit. And huge difference. So now we're out in the sun, just kind of showing off some of the results here. You know, looks just amazing. I mean, for 100,000 miles on this interior, it really does just look awesome, you know. And don't mind the dirty floor mats, you know, got to still clean those from kind of winter. But yeah, no, it just really pops. It's a super matte finish, so it doesn't look all greasy and oily, but it just looks just amazing. And just like that, that's a wrap.